Honey, you may think you know the color wheel, but let me tell you something. You don't know nothing at all. Hello everyone and welcome to the Creative Urge. My name is Austin and I am so excited to be here with you today. I am going to be exposing one of the biggest conspiracies in our elementary school education system. That's right, the color wheel is a lie. By lie, I mean that what we have been taught about color is not completely accurate. We all know that red, yellow, and blue all make different colors. But what if I told you that those are not the real primary colors? What if I told you that the real primary colors are actually cyan, magenta, and yellow? The definition of a primary color is a color that cannot be created or mixed by combining other colors. But if you have a printer at home, I want you to pause this video and I want you to go look inside of it. Ink that you're gonna find is not red, blue, and yellow. The ink you're gonna find is magenta, cyan, and yellow. When you use your printer, these colors derive every other color in the rainbow. This is called the real color wheel. In this color wheel, we see magenta, cyan, and green. As you can see, red can be made from mixing magenta and yellow. Green can be made from mixing yellow and cyan. And blue can be made from mixing magenta and cyan. If you don't believe me, I am going to show you right now that it works with eyeshadow. I'm going to be showing you with the Birds of Paradise palette using just these three colors in the corner. Let's start with red. We are going to combine the magenta shade with the yellow shade here. We're gonna do it right in this corner over here. This is red. This is red. Who would have thought by mixing a pinkish color and a yellow color that you would get red? If you go a little heavier with the yellow, you'll get more of an orange. If you go a little bit heavier with the magenta, you're gonna get a little bit more of a hot pink. But if you do it just right, you're gonna get red. Isn't that insane? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix macaw and we're gonna mix vacay shade, the cyan and the magenta, and we're gonna make blue now. Here we go. I'm gonna show you right over here. Boom, 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 boom. Look at what we're getting. We're getting blue. If you lean a little bit more magenta, you're gonna get more of a purple. But if you do the cyan on top of that, you're gonna get more of a blue. There's the true blue. There we go, right there. Wow. Using the macaw shade and canary, the cyan and yellow, I'm gonna show you how to make a really true green. I'm gonna do it right here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, you gotta get the right balance here. Look at that. We have red, we have green, we have blue. All from these colors here. Cyan, magenta, yellow. Isn't that crazy? Okay guys, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna be showing you on this eye how to get a rainbow eyeshadow look. I'm going to be using that $15 Revolution palette. If you want your eyeshadows to look a little bit brighter, I would recommend using concealer. Just taking a small e.l.f. eye crease brush. I'm gonna go into this yellow shade, packing it on. Make sure you tap the edge, get that excess off. I'm gonna not put it directly on this inner corner here, but just in this portion here. Putting it more in the crease because I'm going to save the eyelid for a nice shimmer. I'm not gonna be doing a ton of blending. Right now, we're just gonna be laying the color down. So now taking another brush, this is the blending eye brush from e.l.f. Now I'm going to go in my magenta shade. We're gonna put this right here, right in the crease. Not completely on the outer edge, but see how there's still some space over here and there's some space in between there. Just packing that on. There we go. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to go in with the cyan shade, macaw, going into the cyan shade. And we're gonna actually put this right on our lower lash line. Put that right here. So you see how we have this color gradient already, just setting it up? Okay, cool. We're gonna put this shade called Tweet right in between there. Tweet, sweetie bird, sweetie bird. So we're gonna put this right here, right in between that yellow and the magenta. Gorgeous. You know, I'm realizing I should have done my base before I did this colorful eyeshadow look because I'm gonna have all of this fall out beneath my eye. Don't do your base before doing colorful eyeshadow, especially with these really dusty palettes. You're gonna have fallout everywhere. We're just gonna dust the bottom here a little bit. That's a trick you can use. You can use like a translucent powder, face powder, and just lightly dab it and fluff it off. We're gonna actually put a little bit of thicker of translucent powder. I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte. It's not my favorite powder, so I'm not even gonna show it to you, but it's what I have. And I'm just gonna lightly press it under my eye. Wow. I look like I was playing in flour. I didn't press it into the skin. I just dotted it lightly so that I'll be able to sweep it away when we're done with our eyeshadow. So now on the very outer edge, I'm gonna go with purple. So as you can see on the color wheel, purple is right between magenta and cyan here. Blue is between there too. You can do blue instead of purple, but I don't have tons of eye space, so I'm gonna fill this in with a purple. And we're actually gonna go in with this shade Adventure and just putting it on that outer crease here. So where that point is, just right here on the crease. Still haven't blended a thing. We're just like blocking the eyeshadow out here. On the lower lash line, I'm actually gonna go in with a green right in the center. And the green I'm gonna use is this terrible green budgie that I was telling you about. It's a bad green. Ooh. It's actually picking up on my brush. Everyone alert the media. It's actually picking up on my brush. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Okay, so I'm just packing that shade right on the lower lash line. I'm not putting it where that flat part is on your eye. Oh, I'm sorry, but is this not gorgeous? I mean, minus the powder, is this not like gorgeous? Is this not like a really nice eye? Like, I can't handle this right now. So now I'm just gonna go in and all the colors that I lost initially, I'm gonna put back in. I'm gonna go back in to the Magenta Vacay and just put that right in between the red and the purple again. And this time I'm gonna just blend it a little bit up. Now that I'm putting these colors back in, I'm gonna blend them a little bit more up to the eyebrow. Now we're gonna go back into that purple shade and I'm just gonna not wing this out super lot, but just a little bit. Then the next shade I'm gonna go back into again is that Tweet shade, putting that right over the same space. And this time we're gonna blend it just a little bit higher. This is really nice. Like, I'm pretty happy with this palette. I'm really not mad at it, guys. Like, Revolution. And then I'm just gonna go back into that yellow shade again. See how it's kind of faded into that orange? I'm just gonna go back and really make it pop right here. See how I left that space here? And again, going back into Tweed again. That's the thing with these cheaper eyeshadow palettes is sometimes when you blend it, the color goes away. So you have to kind of pack and blend and pack and blend and kind of get finicky with it. So I'm just gonna put that again back. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with that now. So now we're gonna go back to the lower lash line and just add more of that cyan, more of that green here. Is it cyan, 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 Cylon, Battlestar Galactica? Are you alive? I had to watch Battlestar Galactica for a feminism and sci-fi class. It was glamorous. Loved it. I'm not a sci-fi lover. Battlestar was where it was. So I'm just putting that cyan again. Cyan, Cylon, whatever, right on this outer part of the eye. Someone's walking. It's like Stomp the Yard up in here. Now let's go back into that green. I'm actually gonna bring it right there. I know I said before I'm not gonna do that, but I'm actually gonna keep the lightest green over here. And then right in between that cyan and where we did that green, I'm just gonna add a little bit of a pure green in here. I'm gonna go in with Jungle. And just put that right in the center of the eye between the green, the light green and the dark green. See, I got that nice gradient here. Right in the space between the purple and the blue, I'm gonna put the tiniest bit of a deep blue on the outer corner. This palette doesn't have that. So I'm gonna go into that Jeffree Star and Androgyny palette and just put this blue in here, the Swallow. You don't have to, I'm just being finicky because we're here. I'm just gonna put this blue right on the outer edge, right here in between the cyan and the purple, okay? And I'm gonna just blend that into the crease just slightly. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm gonna go back in, you guessed it, with the purple, because I got it a little higher than what I wanted to. So I'm gonna go back in with the purple. We're gonna go back into Adventure. I could use some Adventure. I'm tired of being on lockdown. I'm over it. Place the blue on closer to the lower lash line, okay? You're watching this to literally watch me do this and figure out how to do it, but I can't even figure out how to do it. So put this more on the lower lash line here. Don't put it on the upper part. Put it down here. Down here. Now I'm gonna have to be finicky with this purple. Pretty, 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 pretty. See, you just gotta go as you go, guys. I'm actually gonna blend that blue just a little bit farther down so you can actually see that there's like a blue here. Hallelujah! So now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna put a nice shimmer shade on the lid. Before we go into Hot Tropic, I'm gonna put some concealer on just my eyelid. Don't be intimidated, everybody. This is not a fire. Don't call the fire department. We're just gonna put some concealer on the actual eyelid so that we can create some definition and put a shimmer shade down, okay? I'm just gonna use the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. All right, so I'm just gonna take on a flat brush. Flat brush, this is from BH. Pack it really close and then look up hard like this, because that's gonna like stamp the concealer up. See how it stamped it up? Then using the remaining product, just stamp out that concealer. So now that the concealer is on the lid, gorgeous, we're gonna go into that Hot Tropic shade. Wow, I'm getting old, guys. Only 26 and like my eyes are already like wrinkling. Like I have to literally like hold my eyebrow up to like put the shimmer on. Gorgeous. Wow, I'm actually really happy about that. And then in the very inner corner, this inner spot here, see how it's kind of shiny on the camera? I'm just gonna do the white. This is a Tweezer Man brush. I actually hate this because it digs in my eye like a knife, but it will get this nice and white for us. Look at that white, guys. Then I'm just gonna go back into Jungle and just add that right back in here. Everybody is walking to my house. I wish we all had wheelchairs. Why do they walk so hard? You hear like the boom, 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 like on the heels. I might have to have an intervention with my family about how they walk because I'm concerned for their health. All right, I am praying to God this powder will dust away that is melted into my face. Oh, thank goddess, it is fluffing away. Wow, actually that powder is not bad when you let it sit for a hot second. Wow, that's a rainbow eye, guys. Using magenta, cyan, and yellow. And of course I had to put a little green, a little purple, a little blue to accent things. But even if you didn't, you could have blended that all in. That's why I love these shadows with these three shades. Like if you blended them all in together, you would see it. On this eye, instead of doing the same thing, I'm just gonna use magenta, cyan, and yellow. That's what I'm gonna do because I wanna show you that this method works. Let's go in with this really cheap NYX palette because it's $7. It's $7. It's not as nice as the Revolution. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I would just spend the stinking $15 because this is worth it. But I'm gonna go in with this cheap $7 palette for all y'all cheap girls out there. We're going in the same, right in the crease. And I'm gonna bring this a lot farther. I'm gonna bring it almost to the center, okay? Oh, I gotta put powder. Ah, I gotta put powder. Oh, just dot it. Do not press it, just dot it. Okay, so you can see I'm putting it right here. I hope you guys can see this because this lighting set, I got a new lighting setup. Oh yeah, guys, I'm using a ring light right now. I got a ring light and I feel like, ring light game on. Okay, sorry, back to the thing. We are going to go in with the pink on this fluffy brush. Put this on the outer crease here and blend this in to the yellow. And the cool thing about this is I actually might add that like orangey shade next to the yellow and the magenta in this palette. So now just dip into your palette and dip in between the yellow and magenta until you get like this kind of orangey looking shade. You can use the orange right next to it, but I'm just trying to prove a point that these colors blend. So literally just stamp this in the center and like blend in between them. See how that orange shade was created right in between? If it's not bright enough, dip back and forth again. This is like an orangey red shade. If you go a little bit more magenta, it's gonna be more red. If you go a little bit more yellow, it's gonna be more orange. See, magenta and yellow, guys. Stop living a lie. Now I'm going in with a flat brush. This is from e.l.f. This is the eyeshadow brush. Pack it on, baby. Pack it on. Woo. Now do the same thing that you did with the yellow and the magenta here. We're gonna mix the cyan and the pink here so we can get a nice purple. If you go harder in the magenta than in the blue, you'll get more of a purple. And just blend that down on the lower lash line a little bit. Go back into the magenta shade. Put that magenta back in between that purple and like orangey color. Guys, for $7, I'm literally almost getting the same look as the other eye. Now I'm gonna cheat a little because I don't feel like bouncing back and forth. I'm gonna go into that orange shade again and just blend that this way a little bit so that I can have more room for magenta. Now let's go back into magenta. Magenta, I need you to be pigmented right now. The NYX palette is definitely not as pigmented as this one. It just isn't. But guys, for $7, like what more do you want with your life? I'm just gonna wing this out just slightly. There's a purple in here too, so if you need to use the purple, kind of get a truer purple, that's fine, do it. So now on the lower lash line, we're gonna go in with the yellow and cyan to make a green. There's a green in the palette too, so if you need to like help it along, you can. And I'm just proving a point. I like proving points. I'm a Taurus. I prove my point till people acknowledge it. My boyfriend says that I'm very stubborn. I don't know if I'm stubborn. See, I don't say I'm stubborn. I'm headstrong and I'm powerful and I'm determined. That's different. You're stubborn if you do it to stupidity and it ruins your life. Tap back and forth between the blue and the yellow. Kind of tap it on your hand to like mix it a little bit if you want. There we go. There we go. Make that green, Mimi. Going back into that blue again to make sure this blue is stunning. Now the only problem with the $7 palette is now I don't have anything to highlight this inner corner. That kind of sucks, but you can use a highlight if you have a highlight. If you have another shimmer from another palette that you like, that's fine. I think we're just gonna do the concealer and I'm just gonna use the same white in here and the same shimmer on this eyelid. Putting it close to that lash line, look up. Makes that line again. Great. With the rest of the product, raise your eyebrow and just make as smooth of a line as you can. So I'm gonna go back into the white from that Makeup Revolution, highlight this inner corner. That white, it just did it. Look how bright my eyes look from the stupid white. If anything, this white in here is worth it. Just get this $15 palette because there's shimmers in it. There's shimmers and there's different colors to work with. Just get it. Going back in with the shimmer here, the Hot Tropic, and put it right on the eyelid. Everybody's walking. Everybody sit down and relax. It's summer. Sit down and relax. Now that that shimmer is right on my eyelid, I'm gonna sweep off the product. Sweep off this powder, sweep it off. We're back, and this is the final eyeshadow look. I hope you weren't too heartbroken that red, blue, and yellow are not the primary colors. The primary colors are cyan, magenta, and yellow. If you're struggling, I'm here for you to have a shoulder to cry on. But now that you know the right way, you can get a full rainbow look with just 3 shades. You can obviously fill it in like I did in this eye and a little bit in this eye with the shades that you have, but if you don't have that, you literally only need 3 shades. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Get outside, go have an adventure, go do your makeup, and I will see you on the next one. Mwah! Bye guys.